Kevin, what do you think right now is resonating most with recruits about Texas A&M?
I don't know. I think we've got a lot of momentum based on a lot of different things. People ask me all the time, is there one thing that you can point to that's helped? I think it's a combination of a lot of things. The move to the SEC has strengthened our brand, strengthened our footprint nationally. I think that having some success in year one has helped us, and certainly style of play. But everything, all those things add up. It's not really one thing. There's a lot of things, and we do have some momentum right now, and I think for the most part, everybody understands that. Our fans get it, and it looks like recruits get that too.
When you see some guys, I saw a report today, you say offered a seventh grader. What is your stance? I know you talked about 2015
we're
guys,
not there.
But
we're not there
what's your
yet.
stance on all that stuff?
A lot of things happen. Shoot, I got 4 kids, so it's kind of hard for me to go that far. Everybody's got their evaluation process, and we're not at that level yet, so I don't see that changing very much. But that's the way things have gotten, and right or wrong, everybody has their philosophy, and they're trying to get better. But I don't think we're headed down that path at 7th and 8th graders yet. I don't think that's going to be the case.
How much excitement do you and your coaching staff get from this time of year? I mean, you got to keep the momentum rolling and that sort of thing.
This is actually not the excitement time of the year for us. The coaches get in this business. Football season is the excitement time, and recruiting and everything else. But this time of year is we got 450 young guys out there right now in the heat. The young Aggies to be that are having a ball. They're here for the next 3 days in the overnight camp, and over the course of the last 2 weeks, we'll have between 1,500 and 2,000 young men that have come on this campus, some of them for the first time, and that's important, So those guys are out there. We flipped the switch now from college coaches to mentors, and actually starting to recruit young guys to be be Aggies, whether they play football or not. Their experience when they come here is a big deal, and I think that's the reason why we got a bunch of return campers this year, and then after this camp's over 2 weeks out there in that sun, I think it's going to hit 100 tomorrow. Just looking at the coaches, I think they're ready for a couple of weeks vacation right now. They're a little worn out.
How about the anticipation of wondering how the guys are working out on their own and doing those things?
I mean, that's what you hire people to do. Larry Jackson handles that, and it's been our routine for years now. And Larry has, as I've said before, right now this is his football team, and every coach, every person here has a job to do. And Larry takes over this team and for the next 2 months, and he gives us back a product that's always a little bit better than what we saw in May when the last time we were able to work with him. I think people, some people understand it, some people don't. We don't have the ability to go out and coach the players or deal with them much in the summer. Our strength and conditioning program is a big deal, and how they develop and developing leadership within our team. Our players have to run the other workouts. If they want to do 7-on-7, if they want to do drills, those guys do that, and that's where your leadership really develops for the next year.
What have you learned by seeing, or maybe even been surprised by, with the attention that Manziel has gotten in this offseason?
I don't know that I've learned anything. I mean, I've seen it just like everybody else. It's I think, being around other guys in the past has helped me, but there's never been anything like this before. And being around Adrian Peterson or Jason White or Sam Bradford or Case Keenum or on and on and on, Drew Brees or people like that. That's part of the deal. And when you are a nationally recognized person, whether you're young or as a freshman or older guy, there's some things that come with that. But like I said before, he's still himself, and he's made some mistakes, and he knows that. But that's part of growing up, and I think like I've said before, we've got a support process that's in place for him and his family, and I know that ever since summer school started, he's been back hard at work, and he's happy to be back with his teammates.
A lot of the talk last year among fans was the move to the SEC and all the new things. Now that you've been around talking to fans, what do you gauge their excitement level is now?
They should be excited. They were excited last year, but it's nothing that we want to discourage. What we want to do is keep our fans' excitement level high, and as a football team, it's our job to reset, hit the reset button, and move on to next year. Our fans and you guys can keep talking about what we're supposed to do. If we had that attitude that some people had last year, then we probably wouldn't have been any good at all. So, as a staff, as a team, we've got to maintain our own standards, no matter what everybody else thinks. But for our fans, it's great for them to be at this level of excitement.
How much fun can an event like tonight be where you get to talk Aggie football and you get to do it at home?
Well, it's always fun. We'll be around the state, all over the place, and we started off over in Austin a couple weeks ago, and so, but being here at home, it'll be fun. There'll be a lot of people here, and a lot of our assistant coaches who aren't able to make all these other trips. It's a great night for them and for fans and former students, current students, to be able to be around and talk to all our coaches, and that's good for everybody, because a lot of people talk about want to meet Johnny or they want to talk to me, but there's a whole lot of other people here that make this thing work, and that's what nights like tonight are for, when we're close at home and we got a lot of people here for everybody else to talk to.
Time for one or two more. Earlier this spring, Larry Jackson won a pretty significant national award in his field. Obviously, this being the time of year where he's with them quite a bit, what would tell us why he has had so much success?
Well, we met before the season, and I've known Larry forever. We were assistants here, and the job came open at Oklahoma when Mike Stoops went to Arizona and took one of the strength coaches. And I told Bob, we got to hire this guy, and we've been together ever since at Houston. He understands what we're trying to do. He understands the direction of the program. He sets the tone, the toughness, that mentality, and being a former player here and a former NFL player, he understands the difference between just lifting weights and being able to transition that to football. And as he said, there's nothing more important to him right now. Football and being a strength and conditioning coach changed from being a job, to being personal when he came to Texas A&M. And I think when he was here, they lost 4 games in the 4 years he was here. So he's got instant credibility with our players. He understands Texas A&M, but he also understands how to train athletes. And I think the players understand that he's doing everything in their best interest. And, like I said when I got here, you can't argue with his results.
Kevin, when you hear that and see and hear and read and all the things said about Texas A&M being a legitimate national championship contender, do you embrace that, or would you rather fly under the radar a little bit?
I don't, it's better than what was being said about us a year ago.
Anything else?
So does that mean you embrace it?
I just told you. It's better than what was being said about us a year ago.
Well, I understand that. I just wonder.
I don't think you do.
No,
I mean, because there's a lot of things being said a year ago that weren't that not necessarily. Everybody's going to have their opinion of your program. That doesn't affect us. So whatever's being said outside is not the message inside. So whether it's low or whether it's high, the message remains the same for us. So whether I embrace it or not is not an issue. What we talk about as a team is the issue.
All right.
All right?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.